Hi, hello everyone. I hope you're all doing well. I am so excited to be back here. We're hosting another live event with Jay. This is Qendresa, Influencer Marketing Director at EvenSkyn, and we're having live discussions with people that we have worked in the past. Hello again. Yeah, I remember you from the previous lives. Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining. We will be discussing with Jay, who is also known as 10 years younger. So based on his name, we can assume that he's sharing tips on how we can live a healthier and more youthful life. And at the same time, he focuses on the appearance of the skin, but also he talks about skincare devices, but it's just way more than that. He has been talking on his YouTube channel about earthing, he has been talking about fasting, detoxing, sharing about supplements and things he has been using. So it is an amazing approach that he has been sharing content with all of us. So we decided to have this live. I'm gonna ask Jay. Everyone who's here, please feel free to drop any questions. He has been using one of our devices, the EvenSkyn Venus, and we usually talk about the EvenSkyn Lumo as the main device. Hi!
Hi there.
How are
Can you
you?
hear me okay?
Yes, perfectly fine. You
Yay.
hear me
This,
good?
I can, yeah. This is my first live Instagram, so I wasn't sure whether it's going to work, but I'm here. So thank you very much for having me.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining. It is a pleasure. You have been using one of our devices, the EvenSkyn Venus. So, but I just don't. I'm not going to focus on the Venus only. I want to talk more about all the educational content and practical tips that you have been sharing with all of us. And I think, I mean, based on your videos, watching all of this tips and things that you have shared, things that you have tested yourself, it was so educational. So I was like, okay, once we go live, I know we have so much to talk about, but I kind of have an idea of the things that I want to focus on and discuss with you. So yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to be here.
Definitely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. For anyone who doesn't know, this is Qendresa, Influencer Marketing Director at EvenSkyn. And for anyone who doesn't know Jay, please feel free to introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Jay. So I have a YouTube channel called 10 Years Younger, which I started 7 years ago when I was 40. So the reason that I started was during my late 30s, a lot of people, when I told them how old I was, they said, why don't you look your age? You know, they asked me loads of questions and they said, what's the magical skin cream, or what are you doing? And I realized there was loads of interest around this. But from my side, I was always interested in skincare and the science behind how we age. So I kind of wanted to put those two interests together, and I started a channel. So initially it was about you know, just skincare, you know, face cream and stuff like that. It was quite superficial, but during the 7 years I've done it, it's kind of grown into something which I coined the phrase healthy aging, as opposed to anti-aging, because you know you can't be anti-aging because it's going to happen anyway. But the idea is to you know, whether you live for 60 years or 100 years, it's not, I want to live to 150. It's however long I'm going to live. I want to be flexible and healthy and mobile and, you know, mentally aware. So I try to take all kinds of information that I find and just put it into hopefully quite interesting short videos, and I put it out to my audience.
Amazing. And you know, there are not that many male, let's say, influencers creating content on beauty and skincare devices and technology. And I mean, I have been searching and I have been working with influencers, but it is more common for a female to be sharing more of her tips and more of her things that she's doing. So to me, it is super special. And to see all of those things that you are testing and sharing content, I know many people can resonate both genders, but I kind of want to say thank you for doing all the work that you do, because it is very important that you're sharing this information with us. And
As a man, yeah. It's true. I think a lot of the male YouTubers who talk about this kind of stuff, they're dermatologists or they're doctors. So you're right. But what's also interesting is that I used to work in skincare. I used to do sales for a company, and a lot of the time, women told me that they would buy from a man. So say it was some kind of product, and a man said, "Oh yeah, this would be great for you." They would accept that advice from a man, but not from a woman. Which
Ah,
is quite interesting.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's quite interesting, But
It means there's even more space on YouTube for male influencers to talk about beauty. It
it,
is amazing.
yeah, if male influencers want to do that, it's the industry is very aimed at women, obviously. So, and I think with men, there's a perception that we're not supposed to care about aging or how we look. I think a lot of men do. A lot of men don't as well, I understand. But there's kind of this idea that you are vain if you care about how you look too much. So
Yeah.
it's a bit tricky for men, I think, in this space.
Absolutely. And we get to see both sides. We see so many male using that device, asking questions, and we have seen amazing results, especially with the Lumo. I mean, this has been the flagship device because it has multi-modalities, and people usually focus on one device that actually does something. I don't have to dedicate my entire week doing different skincare treatments. But we also see the other side of the story. Is this for men too, or can a man use a cream or a device like this? Because there is not so much, let's say, content or marketing around male using such devices or skincare products. So
Yeah.
it is amazing, and I see changes. I see more content, but I also see more purchasers with a background not especially on skincare, like for example, in your case, you kind of were aware of like how to take care of your skin and all that, but some people are coming from different backgrounds. They don't have that much information about sun protection, for example, which is my recommendation, where we would all kind of start with our skincare routine. But coming to skincare devices and beauty tech, that is a new area kind of everyone is exploring. So I see positive change in this. Yeah, and you have been talking on your YouTube channel kind of more of a holistic pro-aging or healthy aging kind of approach to all this. You have been talking about earthing, which is something you have focused on so many of your videos. And can you tell us more about the positive aspects? Because you have tested this for quite some time. You have tried different products. You have tried to go out and just like take some time and connect there. Can you tell us the benefits you have seen yourself?
From earthing.
Yeah, from everything. That was something new. I've seen and heard and I read
Yeah.
stuff about earthing, and it's something that I would do, but I did that more as a child. But growing up, and I think just going back to
Yeah.
the office, I don't do that now.
Everyone keeps telling me the same thing. Like when they were young in the 80s, earthing was normal. You'd run around the street and you go to the park and you'd ride your skateboard and the kids were outside all the time. I think it's not the same now. Kids, I think there's more security. People are more scared of, letting their kids run away and stuff. So earthing, I think in the 70s and 80s, I think it was just something the kids did.
Yeah.
But I have to always, when I make an earthing video, I always start now saying, okay, it's free. You don't have to buy anything. You could just go and walk barefoot on the grass, because there's so many haters in the comments who are going to say, oh, you're selling snake oil. I'm not selling anything. Just go and walk barefoot. It's free. But obviously, if it's winter, like in the UK now, it's cold. You're not going to walk barefoot in the garden. So it's for me the biggest benefit, because I do get insomnia sometimes. So it's helped with my sleep, like 100%. And it's if you have like backache or you have inflammation. I had tendonitis in my arm. It will also help with that. It helps with inflammation. So they're the main ways it's helped me. But anyone who doubts grounding or thinks it's kind of not real, if you just read the comments under my grounding videos, it will blow your mind. Like the people who say, oh, I've had chronic arthritis for 10 years and I tried this mat and now I can walk. I'm not making this stuff up. It's all there, people from all around the world. And these videos have been my most watched videos as well. So I was really amazed at the reaction.
Yeah. And how did you get started on this? And was it more of a immediate results and kind of benefits that you noticed, or more was it more of a long-term process that you trusted and then you kind of were like, okay, I'm sleeping better, okay, I'm more rested, and I'm eating better, and all of that stuff?
It's pretty much, it only takes a few days. I mean, in my case, with both the tendonitis and with the insomnia, it just took a few days. So I was sleeping better on day 2 already. So it's really fast. It's not something you have to wait weeks and weeks to do. But I mean, like I keep saying in my channel, I take a holistic approach to everything. So if, you know, it's not just about skincare, because there's no point just focusing on having great skin and you're smoking and drinking and doing drugs and not exercising. You have to look at everything together, because if all parts of your body are functioning healthily, then your skin is going to look great. Yeah, everything is connected. So you have to look at everything as a whole, which is my ethos in general.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And this is what I hear from so many other people that we go on live here, and we're talking about skincare products and skincare devices, and we usually are sharing our routines and the things we're doing. But in the general, or in the general aspect, it's about sleep, it's about the food, the exercise, and the type of food you're eating and the type of exercises you're doing based on your needs. So can you tell us more about the whole kind of general recommendation you would kind of share with someone who's in the middle of, okay, what do I do now? I start to feel like my body is kind of letting me down, or it's aging, or whatever. It's the process of life. So what can we do to improve our health in general?
Wow, well, I should say I'm not a doctor, first of all. I'm not giving medical advice, but from my experience, from the research I've done, and obviously all the videos I've made, you have to look at your diet, and you have, 'cause in the modern world, we're basically being poisoned everywhere we look. You know, that may sound a bit dramatic, but we've got so many toxic things in our tap water. So that, you know, the water we're ingesting, you've got chlorine, chloramine, fluoride, heavy metals, antibiotics. There's so much we're ingesting from our water. We're spraying things like deodorant onto our skin, which has toxins and heavy metals. You know, women are wearing makeup, which is untested. A lot of it, you know, we don't even know what the effects are, some of these ingredients. So you've got to think about what's going into your body, what you're ingesting, firstly, because that's going to affect you know, big stuff. Secondly, when you're thinking about age-related diseases, whether it's arthritis or heart disease or anything like that, it all comes down to inflammation. And we know now, science has told us that there are inflammatory foods. So like vegetable oil, seed oil, dairy, there are certain things that will certainly not help you as you're getting older. So you really have to cut certain things out of your diet. And you can also try detoxing as well. So there's certain supplements you can take to, you know, get rid of all the heavy metals and all the microplastics and the things that shouldn't be there in the first place.
Yeah. What type of detoxing or supplements, how would you go around detoxing, and what type of supplements you have tried that actually you believe that are working?
So the one that I've taken is called, it's just escaped my mind. My mind's just gone blank. What's it called? It will come to me in a second. But oh, you can try cilantro. That's a good one. That's another one which I took, and it's kind of like you can get tablets, but the one that I take, it's like a liquid, and it comes with like a dropper, and you just put 4 drops into water, and it tastes like tea. So that's made to get rid of heavy metals. So you basically excrete it out of your body. I can't think of the name of the other one. It's just escaped me, but it will come to me in a second. Yeah, it will come to me in a second, and I'll shout out.
Okay, yeah, because I think it's very important, as we're talking about beauty devices and we're talking about beauty in general. I think that it has to do more with our whole system and the health.
Yeah.
And I know that if we're taking too much sugar, if we're not eating healthy, we're gonna age
Yeah.
faster, and it's gonna be more visible on in our skin. And also, like, your channel is named 10 years younger, so we're looking for those tips on how we can look even younger. And we usually talk about skincare, and we're talking about SPF, but I think that it's very important for someone to also share the other things that we can do to kind of improve the whole system. And I mean, just take some time to relax and go out barefoot, just to kind of release the energy and be able to have a nice meal and then probably exercise some more. So I think it is very important to kind of create a routine or a system where we're doing more than just like sitting around and probably doing skincare in the evening, and it's like, okay, probably I'm gonna look 10 years younger right now. That's not how we are
Yeah.
designed.
It's kind of like if you go to the gym and you only work your bicep muscles and you ignore everything else, you know, why would you do that? Why wouldn't you work all the muscles? Why wouldn't you try to get everything? I know not everyone agrees with this, and some people, maybe they don't have time to have a holistic approach, but you know, when, like I said, when everything is functioning well, it's going to be reflected in your skin. So, you know, it all goes together.
100%. And
Well, the other thing you just mentioned, sugar. Another thing which is really important to understand is glycation. So when we have an excess of sugar, so if we eat too much carbs or sugar, whatever, we have the sugar in our blood, and that bonds to fat and protein cells, and you get something called glycation. So we're made of protein, obviously, so that can happen in our arteries or organs. But when it happens on our skin, then we get crepey skin, we get lines and wrinkles. So sugar is directly linked to aging of the skin.
yeah, wow. I think that's not gonna be good news for most of the people who love a
They
nice
do.
moment. Yeah, but
But
I mean, it is.
I'm kind of I take things to the extreme. I know most people will not live the way I do, but I'm kind of sugar-free, dairy-free. I only drink distilled water. I exercise. I do all these crazy extreme things. But I know that my viewers are not sitting there doing the same stuff. But I'm just trying to show, you know, what you can do.
Yeah,
But you've got to enjoy life. If you want to eat chocolate and treat yourself, then do that as well.
yeah, and it's fine if it happens once in a while, but if it becomes part of the lifestyle, then we cannot say, oh my God, I'm 30 and then I'm looking like I'm 40 or something,
Yeah.
because it doesn't have to do with just the skin and the other outside factors, but it also has to do with our inner parts. And I mean, I know you have tried keto diet. I've seen that one in one of your videos. So yeah, probably, I don't know if that's extreme, but I think that is just a more holistic approach to just like living a healthier life. But yeah, and in terms of like skincare devices and technologies, I know you have been talking about red light therapy for your hair and body. You have talked about radio frequency. You have talked about so many things. So can you share for the viewers that are here, what have you tested? Would you see as a good technology to actually use for at home?
So I've been reviewing so many devices for 7 years. I must have reviewed everything you can imagine that you can use at home. And despite that, I always come back to the same three devices. So you've got radio frequency, which is to tighten the skin and to, you know, create new collagen, hopefully, and elastin. Then you've got microcurrent, which is actually dealing with the muscle underneath, so you're actually lifting the muscles. Then you've got LED, you know, red light treatments, and that is also to boost collagen, but it's more for the surface, so it's to give you know, youthful glow. So all those three things, they work in different ways, but you need all three. You need to be using those to get the maximum benefits. And again, I know a lot of people will be saying, I don't have time for 3 different devices, but if you can find a way to integrate it into your daily life, they're the ones to go for. Out of all the things I've used, it's those 3.
Amazing. Yeah. So you would recommend radio frequency, microcurrent, and yeah, red light therapy is something that I have seen you talking about. I have seen some of the devices for the hair. I haven't been able to watch the review you did in one of those devices. How did that work? Did that really improve hair?
Yeah, so the device I used is for hair growth. It's like a helmet that you put on your head, and you use it for 4 months. And the idea is that it will, boost the circulation and stimulate new hair growth. So after 4 months, nothing had happened, and I was really disappointed. But I kept using it anyway because I was so used to putting it on for 10 minutes every day. And for me, it took 5 months to get those results. So it's not like if you're bald, you're suddenly going to grow new hair, but every single hair became thicker. So each hair follicle kind of had more energy, and I could see the difference around, for example, the front hairline. So it does work, but they're not instant. You have to really use this for quite a long time, for 5 months, 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, it also showed like how realistic expectation can change the whole experience, because like it says 4 months and you kind of expect to see the results for 4 months, but
Oh
then
yeah,
not
yeah.
the same. So
Uh,
sometimes it just takes longer to actually see results for some people.
and Pete, I think most consumers, they don't want to wait. They want instant answers. As human beings, we want someone to say, okay, here's a miraculous face cream. This is going to make you look 15 years younger. Just put it on your face now and you don't need to do a thing. You really have to work at these things. And the other thing about all those three modalities, which I just mentioned, is that they're temporary. You have to keep using them. The minute you stop using any of them, your skin will revert back to how it was before. So these are not permanent solutions.
Yeah.
They will give you a massive change, but you have to fit them into your day-to-day life.
Yeah. And kind of the more, let's say, mode or technology that would give you more instant results would be something like microcurrent or EMS, because you're going to see a bit of the lift happening at the moment because our muscles are contracting. But based on my experience and the whole research that I have been doing, I see radio frequency as the long-term technology, or the way to go if you want to kind of keep that skin elasticity and skin just like tightening, and it's going to have a more kind of long-term results with also like dark spots disappearing, and fine lines will be reduced slightly, but it's going to get better within a few months. But the EMS, for example, in the Lumo that we have, it's going to give that like, okay, I just did something to my face. It's going to look like, yeah, it's definitely just going to look more toned. But if we're talking about long-term results, I would definitely recommend something like the radio frequency. And how would you recommend for someone who's in the beginning and would like to start? Where would you start first? What is the easiest to integrate when it comes to beauty devices?
It really depends, because sometimes you could have like a lady who's 75 years old, or you could have a 21-year-old, person as well. So it depends on the extent of the signs of aging that you already have. But if you just want something super easy, you could just go for one of these LED masks. So you literally sit at your desk, put the mask on, and you can just continue your work as normal, to kind of get into this cycle of being used to using a device. But some of these, like the Zip microcurrent, which is, I think, the best on the market for microcurrent at the moment, so easy to use. I think it's about 3 minutes, and you can literally sit there watching TV, and it will give you a lift. You just run it over your face. So there are some easy to use devices you can start off with, and then, but saying that doesn't mean that when you experience using these devices, you want a difficult to use device. You still want easy things, like if anything, you want easier things.
Yeah, we love easy at-home devices
Yeah.
because it's so easy to integrate. If it gets like too complicated with a big machine, then I think it's just it's going to be kind of a no-no type of situation for most people, because
and also when they're too technical, when they involve using an app and you have to link your phone to the device and you have to do too much, no one's going to use that. They might use it like 5 times, but then it's going to go in a cupboard. So simplicity is always best.
Yeah, I agree. And how was your experience with the EvenSkyn Venus device? This is the one device that you have tried out so far, and when I saw your results, I was impressed. But then when I saw your mother's result, I was like, wow, that is a way to show how powerful this device can be. Even like it doesn't feel like it's doing too much when you're doing the routine, because it's so subtle, and it doesn't involve too much movement. But when I saw the results on your mother, it was like, wow. I was like, such a good idea that you were testing the device on yourself and on her too.
Yeah, I think with these devices, I think whichever one you're talking about, when you're talking about mature skin, then it's much more difficult to get the drastic results that you can get if you're 21 years old. So yeah, with this device that we're talking about now, I didn't use it that much. And in the video, where I'm really shocked, like I was using it on my under my eyebrow here, and you could just see in the video all of a sudden my eyebrow was here. It was like it's instant. You don't really need to, there's no effort. You literally run this over your skin and it's really quick. So the benefit is that if you've got an event that you're going to, and you really need to get ready quickly, you can use something like that and it will give you an instant fix. It's not going to last for 6 months, but it's going to enable you to look more alert and youthful and have like a lifted eye area really easily.
Yeah, absolutely. And the long-term benefits, because the device utilizes thermal heating, it also utilizes sonic vibration, red and blue light therapy. So while you're doing this, you're going to get that vibration, which you can also like kind of turn it off, not literally turn off. You can use it without the vibration, but that vibration is going to give that more of a awake type of look. So yeah, if you would have an event or something, they would need to kind of have a more youthful appearance, let's say. I think the Venus would be an amazing type of device, which is very quick. You only need like 5 minutes to do both.
Yeah, and also the other benefit is that most of the devices for skin tightening, like radio frequency, it always says in the indications, do not use around your eye. It's not safe to use it around here. So I have tried in the past to kind of just use it here. You either have to do it really quickly so you don't burn yourself, or just kind of do little spot treatments. But even if you turn the power right down, still there's a potential you're going to burn yourself. So from what I understand, this is the only device really on the market that will give you a lifting effect on this really difficult eye area. So, and the other thing I love is at the end of it is 45 degrees. So again, when you're doing any of these treatments, you also always stay away from the eyeball and the thyroid. So this literally, as you're using it, you can point it away from your eyeball. So for me, they're the two, benefits for this.
Yeah, and you can also use it on your lips too. So if you're done with the eye treatment, you can also like put a balm and then just do the Venus treatment on your lips too. But yeah, definitely. What I like about it so much is because of the thermal heating. When you're using the let's say an eye cream, and it depends. It could be you can use any oils, and you can also use any creams with this. It helps the product penetration. So whenever you're doing the treatment, the heating is going to help with collagen production, but also it's going to have ion interpretation. So when you're doing that, this is going to help push the products deeper into the layers of the skin. So you're getting more benefits from your eye cream if you combine this with the Venus. And this is an amazing kind of feature, because when you're doing the eye cream, you just like try to tap, 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 just to kind of push the product deeper. But then this just becomes even more relaxing. So that is something that I personally like when I use the Venus.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I just remembered the name of that supplement. It's called Zeolite, Zeolite, and it's really interesting because the molecule is shaped like this kind of honeycomb, and it sucks up heavy metals and toxins as it goes through your body. So that's the one I couldn't remember, Zeolite.
Wow, okay. Gonna need to check that. And I think most people are gonna be interested whenever they will be able to watch this live, because we're gonna repost this for anyone who will be able to check it later. I think it's gonna be best if we leave in the comments, probably after we repost this, we leave in the comments the names of the supplements, because it is something that during the discussions we have with people we come across such questions. What are some other things that I can do to kind of improve my health? But anyway, I would still recommend anyone to check Jay's YouTube account. You would find as 10 years younger. On Instagram would be look 10 years younger. And there is so much great content and educational content that you will be able to kind of have a more holistic view on healthy aging. So I would definitely recommend that. Do you have any usage tips for the Venus. How did you integrate this in your routine? How was your process of seeing results, and actually are you in a maintenance mode, or do you use this every week? How does the Venus fit into your schedule right now?
At the moment, I'm not using it because I had a break. I had a 2-month break where I went on holiday and I didn't use any devices. So I kind of had probably about 2 months. And then I've started the last couple of weeks just using my favorite devices from way back that I've always used. And it's really interesting that when you haven't used something for ages and then you pick it up and you use it and you see the effect, it's like, oh, wow, this really does work. I remember now why I love this so much. So, when I have used this, but generally it's if I know I'm going to go somewhere, and like I was saying, you really want that kind of lifted effect where you look fresh. So that's when I would use it. And because it's so easy to use, it's not difficult to integrate this into your life. So you can just put this on your bedside table, or by your mirror when you're going out, because it doesn't take that long. So it's really easy to fit into your life.
Amazing. Yeah. And how does your skincare routine look right now? You mentioned you do your favorites. What are, in terms of technologies and products, how does your routine look like?
So at the moment, I use the Zip Halo, which is the new version of that microcurrent, and it just takes 3 minutes. So I would use that. I try to use it twice a week. And that, like I say, that will lift everything, all the muscles under your skin, on your neck and your face. It will give you an instant lift. And I also use the Dermalux Flex MD, which is a massive red light kind of canopy that you can either lay underneath or you can stretch. It's flexible, that's why it's called the Flex, and you can put it on if you've got arthritis or any kind of inflammation or joint pain. So I lay under it and I use it for anti-aging red light. And that takes about half an hour a day, which is quite a big chunk of your day. So at the moment, I'm using it about 15 minutes a day. Mm-hmm. But they're the two things that I'm using at the moment. It's difficult because I'm constantly reviewing devices for my channel. So at times I'm using so many things I don't know what works anymore. So when I take a break and I go on holiday and I stop everything, it's interesting to see what actually works.
Yeah. And this is a challenge with so many creators that are testing different devices, because 1 month you're doing something, the next month you're also testing something else, and you don't know if the results you're getting are from the previous month, that actually it's just the process of skin rejuvenation and how our cells work. So then this way you're like, okay, am I getting the results from this device or the other? So this is why we also recommend for people to kind of use one device or one product for at least 3 months in order to actually see some results and some changes, to say, okay, this is working for me, this is where I'm getting the benefits from.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I just reviewed a device called the Lima Laser, and that was a 4-month review. That's the longest review I've ever done. So I didn't use anything else. I had to stop everything else. You have to use it for about 1 hour a day. I thought it would kill me. It was just such a long review. So, you really have to watch what you're using. Otherwise, you could end up saying something works and it's actually something else that's giving you the effects.
Yeah, and this is why we also love so much about the Lumo device, is because you actually and this is designed more with the people in mind that would like to have only one device in their routine, and they're not like, okay, 30 minutes this, 15 minutes this, 10 minutes this device, because it combines radio frequency, it combines EMS, LED light therapy, sonic vibration. It has a mode for cleansing, product penetration, and a cooling mode. So you're getting multiple modalities in one device, and it only is recommended to be used only once per week, up to 2 times a week. So this is kind of the deal breaker, or when to someone when it comes to okay, this device, can I use this every day? And I don't have 25 minutes every day. So when it comes to the Lumo, so this is the device I'm talking about. This is the EvenSkyn Lumo. So when it comes to this, people are like, okay, once a week, this is totally new. So I see the difficult or the challenge when it comes to people and they're like, I don't have time to integrate such device. but kind of the Lumo makes it easier, but you have to navigate and see if it fits for you, if yeah, if you're able to kind of integrate such device into your routine. But yeah, do you have anything that you feel that is very important for the audience here that is listening, to kind of share something that you believe is very important that we probably haven't had the chance to talk?
I would say, you know, we're here on this earth for maybe 60 or 80 years, and I think that our bodies are a miraculous gift. You know, if you think of all the cellular processes that are happening now as we speak, you know, we're breathing and our brains are functioning and we're not even thinking about it. So my personal ethos is that we should be caring for our body, not just skincare, but everything. And, you know, that's going to reflect well on our skin and how we look. So I just think we should be exercising, protecting our skin from the sun, avoiding toxic ingredients and seed oil and vegetable oil, and living the best life we can.
With a positive approach to all of this, like, this doesn't have to sound stressful or difficult to anyone. I think if it sounds like too much, I would recommend starting one step at a time.
Yeah.
I do something as easy as just going out for a walk, 5 minutes. That's something just to get out there. And if you go out for 5 minutes, I bet it's going to be longer than that. It's like, okay, this feels fine. I'm going to walk a bit more. So I think I totally agree that it's not about just the skincare and product or devices we're using. It has to do with a more holistic, practical approach that we could all do to live a healthier and longer life, I believe.
Well, it's about quality of life, I'd say, rather than longer. You want to be healthy until you die, rather than going downhill, you know, with some chronic condition, you know.
That will be very painful to see yourself, that you could actually do something to improve that, but it's better to start earlier, and it's not too late. But yeah, well, I would definitely like to emphasize for anyone who's here, please go and check Jay's channel that is called 10 Years Younger, and he has been sharing some amazing content about different stuff, about food, supplements, earthing, which is an amazing thing that we could all do. It's super easy, and learn more about the benefits of radio frequency, microcurrent, and all the other stuff. So Jay, thank you so much for being here. I don't want to take more.
You're welcome.
Otherwise, we could talk about this all day long, I believe. But it is a pleasure to have you here. And yeah, I know we're going to be in touch and talk probably in a part 2 and discuss even more about different stuff.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. And I wish you all the best. And we'll be in touch.
Take care. Bye.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.